couple of minutes before half-time as Mackay is put down on the 30-metre line. A big run is Nahi. Gets the ball back for Goddard. Over the top it comes. Suddenly the coast is finding some confidence as Conley finds some space and manages to offload. And Duckworth will fall on the loose ball. 15 seconds to go in the half. Can the Tigers extend their lead? Milford to play it. Seconds to go. Dunley can't get past the tackle of Steve Parsons, so he falls to ground on the 40-metre line, and Balmain go to the break with a 3 tries to 1 advantage. 14 points to 4 over the Gold Coast. We'll take a short break from Carrara. Back on the other side with the highlights. Welcome back to Carrara as the Tigers come out for the second half, and they went into that half-time break with a 10-point lead over the Gold Coast. 14 points to 4. They've scored 3 tries to 1. Michael Gillette, a fantastic solo effort. Mark O'Neill, a strong one from very close. And it was him who did all of the great lead-up work in that final Tiger try of the half to Brendan Magnus. As we take a look at the stats, Phil, 53% of the ball in that first half for the Tigers, but 13 missed tackles for the Chargers will not have pleased Phil Economides.
No, certainly not. And while the Tigers had so much possession, the handling errors, if we go down to the bottom there, 7 from the Gold Coast, and a lot of those were in their own red zone.
Who's been doing all the work? Well, Clinton O'Brien mostly for the Chargers, 17 tackles and 12 hit-ups. Jamie Goddard, 16 tackles. He had about 30 or so last night. And add to that the 405 coming into this game. Absolutely tireless, the Gold Coast captain this evening. Mark Stimson, also prominent for the Balmain Tigers. 14 points to 4, the half-time lead. When you're ready, Jamie. Jamie Goddard just getting ready for this second half. Just 3 wins so far this year for the Gold Coast, including 1 last week over South Sydney. Steve Parsons with the first touch of the second half. With this sort of lead, you'd like to think that the Coast I would imagine, Phil Blake, we're just looking to get some sort of points on the board first in the second half.
Yeah, one would think if Balmain got the first try on the board, that would be the end of the game. So the Coast, to get back in this game, just play good field position, complete their sets of 6. No silly errors down in their own 20 or 30-metre zone. Get a good kick on the end of this, and defensively be very strong.
Craig Teven under enormous pressure. Kicks it down for Lower Milford, who again is tackled into touch. Another mistake from the Balmain left winger.
I was just about to say what a pretty poor kick it was from Teven, but even more a pretty poor run there from Milford. Like, it was great evasion to get around Hudson, but he must have come straight back in. He couldn't afford to get dragged over the sideline.
Disappointment for the Tiger camp as we now join Mark Dickens with the Balmain operations manager on the sideline with Chris Bombolas.
Yeah, thanks very much, boys. And Mark, Junior wouldn't have been happy with that because you've started the second half the way you finished the first.
Yeah, Chris, that's exactly what he spoke about at half-time. He was really happy with their first 35 minutes. The last 5 minutes, he wasn't happy with it, and he's asked us just to go back to basics, consolidate when we've got the football, and make sure we've got good structure in our defensive line.
Was he happy with the 10-point lead? Was that enough?
Yeah, he was certainly happy with the lead. He just wants us to go on with it. He reminded the boys of the second half last week against Illawarra. Pretty similar sort of game in terms of the score. And he really wanted the boys to knuckle down, complete their sets, and hold that football and go forward.
All right, well, you haven't started the second half too well, but you're obviously confident you can go on with the job.
Yeah, the boys were all feeling very good. Our preparation's been excellent, and they're pretty happy with the way they're going.
Okay, we'll get back to you, Mark. Good luck for the rest of the match, and we'll join the commentary team with Eric.
Thanks very much, Bomber. And also Mark Dickens as Teven again goes to the air. Back there is Shannon Nevin, who's fumbled it in goal, in fact knocked on, according to referee Mokshin Jangwat. So we'll come back to the goal line for a dropout. That could be an expensive mistake.
Yeah, it's a replica of the play before, where it was a pretty ordinary kick from the Gold Coast, but even a more very ordinary attempt of take there from Shannon Nevin. He would have been very disappointed there, got to the ball a little late, let it get below his the height of his chest there, and he's put his side under a lot of pressure now.
Never really had it in his sights as well as Shane Walker. It'll be with the goal line dropout. And it's taken on the 40-metre line and then fed to Clinton O'Brien, who improves the position by another 10 metres. Juggling the football. Oh, Shane Russell. They've coughed it up on the first tackle.
That's exactly what they didn't need. Good position. Everything's gone their way in this first 3 or 4 minutes, but all of a sudden they're just a blatant... just came up with a bad fumble, did Shane Russell. All they needed was just to pick up the ball, hit it in. They were getting set for a set play, but it didn't even get to that.
We've already heard from the Tigers camp. To update us with the Gold Coast half-time is Chris Bombolis.
Yes, I've got with me Tony Pease. And Tony, you wouldn't be a coach for quids after seeing something like that, would you?
No, mate, not at all. Phil was very happy with the way they finished the first half. But they've only completed 11 out of 20 sets of 6 in the first half, and we just dropped the ball again. So that's what's upsetting him at the moment. We need to control the ball, and their one-on-one defence in a couple of instances has been fairly ordinary.
He's obviously taken heart by the fact that you scored that last try and the deficit was only 10 at half-time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They can come back. They've just got to play to the plan, hit their left side, and watch. Balmain seem to be attacking us on the blind a fair bit, so he wants them to watch the blind.
All right, good luck for the rest of the match.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Bomber. Thanks, Tony Pease. And something we've suspected all along, Phil Blake, they really are attacking that left-hand side through Graham Mackay.
Oh, exactly right. Like he's the one they've got their try for him. A great individual effort. He's the one that's going to get him back into this game. Young Webber, he's got to be on his toes this half. They're going to direct a lot of the play down his side, but defensively he's got to be strong.
Conley is tackled on the last, 40 metres away from the line. Teven again with the kick. This time Nevins in good position though. Whereas at half-time, the Tigers was about 54 or 55% of the ball, starting to come back in this second half. Centre on for Milford, who's put on his back 20 metres away from his line. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Still no addition to the score. Balmain leading by 10. To the blind side they come. Last tackle for the Tigers. Gillette will kick long from deep inside his own territory. Back there at fullback is King. We haven't seen the reappearance of Preston Campbell.
No,
It's a couple of indiscretions in that first half.
Yeah, he got dragged straight away after he brought the ball back and lost it in the tackle. But young King there, no reason to let the ball bounce. Take it on the full, get the momentum, get the ball back up as quick as you can, upfield.
Goddard for Durham. Teven finds Sattler, who stands in the tackle, looks to offload but couldn't do so. Teven. Here's Jason Nicol. Strong, tall centre, gets the ball back. No one really was looking, but I tell you what, Shane Russell was. He sensed the possibility. Goddard keeps it alive. Graham Mackay back inside. Shane Russell again put down. That was the last tackle though, so the handover will come. And you can see there, Russell penalised for throwing the ball away.
There's no reason for that, is there, Eric?
You can see him there signalling that it was knocked out of his hand.
Yeah, no.
You're right. Good try.
But enterprising stuff from the coast, running the ball on the 6th tackle down the short side. That's a great option. The kicking game's been pretty poor, so why not run it?
Stimson. They work the blind through centre, up over the 40-metre line he comes.
It's a great yardage play for him. Every time centre takes the ball in their set of 6, he always runs the short side and always picks up 10 to 12 metres.
Shane Dunley stepped out of a couple of tackles before being brought down just over the halfway line. The switch of play finds Nevin. He goes to the right foot. Back there is King, who takes it on the 10-metre line and then finds a Balmain line up in his face. Slipping and sliding is Hudson. O'Brien with another hit up, his 16th of the match. Mackay accepts the inside ball, going looking for work, the Gold Coast centre. Teven put on his back. Last tackle now for the Gold Coast. Mackay kicks in low, juggled nicely by Shannon Nevin. Tries to get on the outside of his man. He's got to think about getting too close to that touchline. And he's upended by Scott Conley.
But again, Eric, a nothing kick again on the end of the set of 6. Just a miserable kick straight down to Nevin. No purpose in it. Didn't even put it up high enough so they can get through and contest it, or a short one to put some pressure on him. Just a nothing kick. They've got to show a bit more variety. Run the ball like they did before. Yeah, no, it looked a little ugly, didn't it, to start with, but I think they pulled out of it right at the death there. Just got to be careful.
Last tackle for the Tigers will be played on the halfway line. The switch of play for Dunley. Onto the left foot, under pressure there from Durham. Juggled and then taken by Hudson. He steps inside Milford, who has another go at him and drags him down. Nickel. This is King. They've had a fair amount of the ball, haven't they?
Certainly in the second half they have. Balmain started off with a couple of bad errors there, which gave back-to-back sets for the Gold Coast. They're right into this game. They've just got to transform. So in this early possession and this flow that they've got going, they've got to try and get some points. They can't come away in the next 5 or 10 minutes without a try.
O'Brien accepts the responsibility. It looked like it was knocked out of his hands by O'Neill. We'll play it on the last anyway. Teven with a chip over the top. Mackay running through, but well taken out there by Donaghy.
It was the right idea, just a bad execution. Didn't find the hole. Went straight back to the winger. I think that sort of kick has to be a bit more straight rather than, you know, out to the side where the winger drops straight back in behind the line. Put it straight over the defensive line.
Coming up to 10.5 minutes gone in the second half. Still no score. O'Neill manages to offload for Duckworth. Can't find a way through the tackle of Durham and Nahi. At pace. On the last tackle was Hudson Smith. Gillette goes to the air. King accepts it on the full, about 15 metres away from his own line. And another poor kicking option on the last.
Yeah, certainly. It's not the one they wanted. It was deep enough, but just went straight to the fullback. Got to put a bit more thought into it. Tried the short kicking game. A lot of this game at the moment is just played between the two 20s, isn't it? You know, they're getting there through their sets of 6, getting a kick down there. It's just a matter of some side buckling or someone defensively just switches off that's going to open this game.